Happy November, friends. October for us was a bit of a blur. In some ways, it was just really slow, like just steady progress. And in other ways, it was busy. Elizabeth came home in the midway through. She was actually home for a week this year because she had fall break one weekend and a friend's wedding the next weekend. And one of the benefits of college in 2024 is that a lot of classes are virtual. And so a couple of her classes were online only classes during that week. And so she got to stay home. Anyway, soccer season wound up, which was good. It was a good season. But as always, I'm ready for it to be done. So that's good. We also spent a lot of October. Well, we did not spend as much in October as I planned doing our election studies, in part because we were doing a lot of in-person volunteer work, different things, mostly nonpartisan work, and it was really good to show my kids like the hard work that goes on behind the scenes for making the election days work and all of that. I really enjoyed being able to show them that. So while we didn't get a lot of our studies done that I had planned, which we will carry over between now and January, some of it, it was also good that they got some hands-on real life learning. And our homeschool is officially 2/3 done with the semester. We technically only have 4 more weeks scheduled, but my goal is to get 5 more weeks. We have a vacation scheduled in May, as well as Elizabeth's graduation. So we're on a bit of a time crunch this year. As I mentioned in the October update video, we are switching gears with math this year for Ben, who is my junior. He is a good math student, but doesn't enjoy it. So I wanted to give him something lighter this year before he takes dual enrollment math next year, statistics. So we started off with Mr. D's financial literacy. You guys know that we've loved Mr. D's for years, but it was not a good fit for Ben. So we switched gears and I grabbed out a Life of Fred algebra book and Art of Problem Solving's number theory book. He likes the content of number theory, but he doesn't like the format. He wants to just be given a set of problems that he completes. So we are switching gears again, but I don't know to what. I'm considering some kind of like a college algebra math class. I'm trying to get him on board with that. We'll see. He's continuing though with Life of Fred, and then today he just started Khan Academy math for some review and brush up work. So hopefully by the November update, I'll have a final answer on math for him this year. This is the first time we've had to switch math for him, especially since 3rd grade, I guess, 2nd grade, somewhere around there. And then I don't think for any kiddo after like 4th grade, we've switched mid-year. So this is a new thing for us. Now for history this year, Ben is doing early modern history. So we are doing roughly the years 1400 to 1800, give or take. And he's done several books this year and some Wondrium courses and just this and that. But as I was trying to figure out what to do next for him, I came across a Google Earth activity called the Early Explorers, which is like a mini lesson plan, mini unit inside of Google Earth. And so I thought, what if we kind of shifted gears and spent the next several weeks, maybe a few months, learning about the explorers of this time period. So he has, I think, maybe a dozen or so explorers that he'll learn about the individuals themselves. He will trace their journeys. We'll probably use a custom Google map for that. He will learn about history and geography of the places he's going to visit, tools of the trade for navigation. We have some writing activities and some art activities and some hands-on activities that he'll do. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I will be putting this together and putting it up over on my blog if you want to grab it yourself. I'm excited for it. One of the books that we found is called Phantom Atlas, and it's a story of maybe 30 places that they thought were legitimate places in this world, and come to find out they were not. One of them that you read yesterday was only discovered in like 2005, I think it was, 2005, 2009, somewhere in there, that it didn't exist. It was an island that they thought was off of Mexico, and it was only that recently that we discovered that it didn't exist. So I think that will be a lot of fun to go with it. And then he's got a couple of other books that we'll do. He's also started U.S. History Detective because we're doing some American history, obviously, along with the world history of this time period. So I have a couple of videos, at least one video about this, so I will link it down below. Now, Matthew is finishing up 20th century world history, and he wanted to take a spin on it as far as like what wars and dictators there were in this time period. So that's the lens we've been looking at everything through. So right now he is reading On Tyranny by Timothy Snyder. There is an adult version of this one, but this one is actually a graphic novel that is really good. He's enjoying it. It's going a little bit slower than what I expected, but he's enjoying it, and I'm not going to speed him through it. But it's 20 chapters, and they're all lessons. It's called 20, or the tagline is 20 lessons from the 20th century. And I think he'll learn a lot from it. This week, he also started the Cold War. So this, combined with time period, this Cold War study, I think will be fascinating. And while this is not my type of book, as soon as he's done with it, I'm sitting down with it to really dig into it because I want to learn as well. He is taking history just as a one-semester course, and then he'll replace that with computer science in the next semester, which I'm still trying to find one. If you have a kiddo who's taken an AP Science, computer science course, preferably with a live teacher, but not necessarily. But if you have, let me know down there where you went through because we need something. Okay, let's talk about English language arts. Ben is continuing with Write at Home for writing this year. He got a different writing tutor than he had last year. And I wondered, he really liked his one last year. And so I was kind of hoping he would pair her with him again, but he didn't. They didn't. So, and the way their system works is that you have a writing assignment and then it goes through 2 sets of revisions before you submit it. So it's like spread out over, I guess, 3 weeks, 4 weeks for each writing piece. It's a good format for him. I appreciate that there's someone who is live guiding him. I don't know what it is, moms, but not with any of my kids, have we done well with mom providing writing feedback. I don't know what it is, but it's not worked well for any of us, for any of my kiddos. So I'm willing to pay for that so that someone else is doing it and not causing relationship tension between us. He also just finished his Frankenstein unit study from Literary Adventures for Kids. These courses have been fantastic for him. He enjoys the books so far. We're doing British literature this year. And the little side trails and side topics, they've been really good. We are not doing the vocabulary and grammar stuff that goes with it because he's got it elsewhere. And I don't know, we're just not. I appreciate that someone else has done the work. They're pretty inexpensive. I think most of the courses are about $20, $25, and they last roughly a month. I think they're designed to be a month. Some of ours have lasted a little bit longer. I think he's going to take November off for one of those studies. However, because we have a vacation at the end of the month, and so I think with a shorter month, we're just going to have him read a book of his choice. And then in December, he will do Charles Dickens' Christmas Carol. Now, Matthew, who is my 9th grader, one thing that I just started with him is this book. It's called Poetry 180. Ben read this during 9th grade for Build Your Library, level 9. And it's, you can guess by the title, there's just 180 poems. They are really well chosen books for this, or chosen poems for this age level. Matthew is, neither of my boys are kids who I would have thought would have enjoyed poetry. I don't know, my own biases against it, I guess. But they both really have. And so I had forgotten about it. And when I was cleaning out our bookshelves, I saw it and I thought, yeah, let's add it. Anyway, I have Matthew reading one a few days a week. I'm not assigning any particular ones, and he doesn't have to do anything with it. He just has to read it, but he's really enjoying it. So I say that to say that, like, if you're looking for just a little something to add, this might be a choice, or, a similar type of book. Don't discount it. If you want something else to add, go check out my curiosity calendars, Brain Foods. Link will be down below. They're short little, mostly 10 to 15 minute curiosity fillers for teens. So link down there. Now for the rest of language arts for Matthew, he is doing The Hero's Journey by Oak Meadow. He has completed one unit, which was The Scorpion's House. It's a book I didn't know anything about, but he really enjoyed it so much that when we finished the unit, he wanted to read the second book in the series. So we did that. We are starting Anne Frank unit now, and we jumped a little bit because I wanted him to do Anne Frank while he was doing history, or our 20th century history. So far, we are really enjoying Oak Meadows, but a couple of things. One is that I find the pacing, and so does Matthew, really fast. The amount of work that is supposed to be done in a week is more than what he's accomplishing. Yes, he's not my fastest reader, but I feel like it's a lot. So we have adjusted that. And know that ahead of time, that if you're considering Oak Meadows, any of their literature courses, it is a lot. So your kiddo may do fine, but you may need to adjust it as well. Otherwise, he's really enjoying it. We've found a pretty good pacing for it and a way of assigning it and breaking out all the different assignments that work well for him. I like that there's a variety of things to go with each week. So he'll have a reading, and then for this book, they have a character map. So he has to add to this map of characters, a circle thing where you draw the lines, which has been something different for him. And I like that. There are questions, there's a research project. So there's all these different components that keep the variety up, which is good for him. For Ben, I don't know that he would have enjoyed it, and I know Elizabeth would not. But for Matthew, that's been really good. I think that after we are done with this unit, though, that we might switch to Animal Farm with the British literature that Ben is using. I think the book obviously is appropriate to go with 20th century world history, and I think he will enjoy the book. It'll be something different and something less demanding for December, which is always good when you have a busy month. We'll see how long Anne Frank ends up taking us. We may have to carry it into December, in which case we probably won't do Animal Farm, but we may move that to the spring. I am not planning to complete the entire book this year, in part because the pacing, there's just so much of it. And we started it a little late. But I also think I want to just carry it over into next year for him so that this year we can also have time to do a fish tank unit or two because he's really enjoyed those. And next semester when he is doing computer science, I think that's going to take up a lot more time for him, a lot more brain power than history. So I don't think I want to have a demanding, high-paced literature unit going on at the same time. So we'll see. But it's been really good, and I'm looking forward to sharing it with you. I think I'm planning to share it in January, so be on the lookout for it. And that's our October update. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had a good month. I would love to know what you have planned for the holidays, for homeschool, vacation, life, whatever. Let me know down in the comments, and I will see you in the next video.